guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so excited to film this video for you guys. We are going to be looking at all of the bronzers that I have in my collection, and we're going to be ranking them from best to worst. And yeah, I'm super excited. I have 21 bronzers, so this is gonna be kind of a long video. But before we jump in, I had to let you guys know I got this inspiration from Kelly Gooch here on YouTube. She is one of my favorite people. She's absolutely the sweetest. Her videos are amazing. And she's been doing these ranking videos. I've seen a couple from her now, and I've been really enjoying watching them. And I thought it would be really fun to do my own. I think it's a great idea to sit down and kind of almost take inventory of what you do have and see, you know, what is your favorite? What is your least favorite? I don't know if I ever do that very often. I just know that I love all these bronzers. I just recently did do a bronzer declutter where I got rid of quite a few of them. So these are just the ones that I absolutely love, and I do wear all of these. So I know it seems like a lot. 21 is a lot of bronzers to own, but I really love all of them. So even though we are ranking them from best to worst, like I said, I just decluttered a few weeks ago. So all of these I want to have in my collection, but I definitely have some that I prefer over others. So that's what we're gonna be looking at. And I will link Kelly's channel down below in case you wanna check out her videos. Like I said, she does a really amazing job with her videos as well. Oh, one more thing, one more piece of business to take care of. In case you're wondering what is on my face today, I did actually film a get ready with me doing all drugstore products. So that is what I'm wearing today, is all drugstore stuff. That video is actually going to go up after this video, so keep an eye out for that. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, but let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so we are going to begin. Let's start with number 21. So like I said, I have 21 bronzers. I know it's a lot. So actually number 21, this is my least favorite of all the ones that I own. I still really do like it. I just, I'm kind of bored of it at this point, and the reason is because I've had this in a project for like a year and a half. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. It is just a deluxe sample size, but it's taking me forever to use this up. So this is what it looks like inside. It's a nice bronzer. I like the formula. It's easy to blend. The only thing I find with this one is that it is just slightly dark and slightly warm on my skin tone. So I can definitely pull it off. I have to go a little light-handed with it, or I have to wear it more in the spring, summer when I have a base tan. But that's what the swatch looks like. I do wear this often as like a crease shade. It makes like the perfect crease shade, and since I'm trying to use it up for a project, I've been using it that way quite a bit. Anyway, I'm really just trying to use this up. Once this is gone, I won't be replacing it in my collection. So yeah, I still think it's really nice. I think it's better for a little bit darker skin tones than myself though. Okay, moving on to bronzer number 20. Now this bronzer, the only reason I have not decluttered this bronzer is because it's sentimental to me. So as far as like color and formula, it's not my favorite, and that is this guy here. It is from The Balm. It's the Bahama Mama bronzer. I've had this for a very long time, you guys. I want to say like 6 years. This is what it looks like on the inside. The packaging is adorable. This is definitely too dark for me. I'll show you a swatch comparing even to the Chocolate Soleil bronzer that I thought was too dark. This is it right here. So this bronzer is probably perfect for like a medium skin tone. It is a very beautiful bronzer. I actually do really like the color of it. I think it's a good like neutral undertone. Again, it just doesn't work for my skin tone so well. The only reason, like I said, that I haven't decluttered this is because it's sentimental. And I probably will never declutter this because it's more of a collection item for me. I don't reach for it anymore though. I rarely ever use this anymore. If I were to use it, it'd probably be more like as an eyeshadow, but like I said, it's getting really old as well. So yeah, I do still have it in my collection. I probably will always, but it's no longer one that I reach for. All right, bronzer number 19 is this guy here. This is from the Estee Edit, which the Estee Edit is no longer around. They did discontinue that brand pretty quickly after launching it. This is called their Barest bronzer. This did have, you can't see it anymore, but when I first got it, it did have like half of it had like this golden overspray on the top that was like very shimmery, and I rubbed that all away because it was pretty awful. But it does still have a little bit of the glitter kind of like sitting on top of the product, but I think that'll wear down as I get more into the product itself. Now this is a little bit more of a warmer bronzer, so this is one that I like to use more in the summertime. That's it right here. It is very sheer though, so I do find it easy to wear on my skin tone. I don't find it quite so hard to pull off as these last two. but it is, like I said, a little bit warmer. So I do like to use this when I have a little bit more of a base tan going on, or if I want like a very like bronzy goddess kind of look, then I will reach for that one. So it's a really pretty bronzer. The formula is nice. It's easy to blend. It's just the color isn't one that I would use year round. All right, bronzer number 18 is this guy here from Clarins. This was a limited edition. I'm gonna link everything I can below for you. Some of these are limited edition, so if it's not available, I do apologize, but I definitely wanted to include everything I own in this video. But this is called the Powder Soleil Bronzing Compact, and it has 3 tones to the bronzer. As you can see, I've worn the pattern down quite a bit on this side. This is my favorite side of the bronzer. I really do like the bronzer. I don't use this shade too often. Again, that's gonna be a little bit warmer, more of a summer shade for me, but these two right here, when I blend them together, make a beautiful color. It works year round for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this side, and then I'll swatch this side separate. This swatch here, the top one, that is the top 2 colors in the palette swirled together. And the bottom one you see right there is just the bottom shade. So as you can see, this is a really beautiful color for on my skin tone. It makes a really good bronzer. Now I did build it up a little bit so you could see it real good. It's not quite that intense, but it is a really beautiful color. And then this one, again, I can wear that one. It's just a little bit warm on me. All right, moving on to number 17 is going to be this here from Estee Lauder. This is the Bronze Goddess in 01 Light. That's what it looks like. It's huge. The pan size is enormous. It is kind of a neutral undertone, maybe leaning just slightly warm. I'll give you a swatch of this, but it is very buildable. That's what I love about it. It goes on pretty sheer and you can build it up. And it does have like a tiny bit of shimmer to it, but it doesn't translate on the skin. I notice when I apply this, I don't see any shimmer actually on this skin, but you can see it when you look at the pan. But that's a close-up of the swatch there. So because this is so easy to blend and so easy to build, it is one of my favorites, although it's in spot number 17. I have a lot of bronzers that I really love, as you can tell. All of these I love, otherwise they would not still be in my collection. I am going to be doing more of these ranking videos, but I'm only going to do them after I finish my declutter, because I only want to talk about products that I actually love. So anything you're seeing in this video, I definitely recommend. I think they're good products, and that's why I still own them. But yeah, this is a really nice bronzer as well. All right, moving on to spot number 16 is this guy here from Too Faced. This is the Sweet Tea Bronzer. Here is a close-up of what this looks like. Now it does have a dual side. It has 2 different sides to it. But they're both very similar in color and tone in my opinion, so I usually just kind of swirl my brush between the two. And this one is a very shimmery bronzer. It's not like glittery or anything like that, but you can definitely see the shimmer in this one when you apply it to the cheeks. And here's a swatch of that one. This one to me has like the feeling of like the Hourglass bronzers or the Hourglass powders. Just like that really finely milled. It does give a little bit of a shimmer, but it's not like a crazy intense glow or anything like that. I think it's a really beautiful bronzer. I actually really enjoy using it, and I do use it quite a bit. All right, I'm gonna keep going because this video is gonna be super long. Number 15 is this one here from Sephora Collection. This is the Fiji bronzer from Sephora Collection. They have recently repackaged this again, but I feel like they do that all the time, but they do keep this shade every time that they do that. Fiji is one of the best colors, I think, especially for, you know, my skin tone, obviously, that's what we're talking about, but that's what it looks like. Let me swatch it on my hand here for you. Again, this is one of those more sheer kind of formulas that you can build up. This could really work for, like, I would say medium to light skin tone. It is kind of on the darker side for what I usually like, but I do find that it blends so nicely that it still works on my skin tone. I just think it's a really nice formula, a really nice bronzer. Okay, in spot number 14 is this guy here from Benefit, the Hula bronzer. This is just a cult classic bronzer. It's such a great bronzer. It has more of a cooler undertone, I would say. So this one, it works really nicely if you're wanting to use it for a little bit of contouring as well. And it is on the lighter side for color and tone. So it works really good for really fair to light skin tones. So yeah, there's the swatch right there. It's kind of like a neutral to cool undertone. undertone. I think it's a really nice bronzer and I really enjoy it. Moving along to number 13, another Too Faced bronzer. This is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So this is the lighter version. Again, older packaging. I didn't buy the new packaging when they came out with it. I think I got this actually when they were clearancing it out to get ready for the new packaging because I got it on sale. Oh, I love the way this smells, by the way. My other Chocolate Soleil bronzer doesn't smell anymore because I've had it so long, but this one still has that really chocolatey scent. Oh. Anyway, that's the swatch. As you can see, this is a really, really light bronzer. So I like using this in the fall, winter when I have like my fairest skin. This works excellent on really porcelain fair skin because it is such a light bronzer. Again, you can build it up a bit, but it's not gonna ever look crazy or too dark on fairer skin tone. So I really enjoy that one. Next up is this one here from Fiona Styles. This is the Aiko bronzer. You can't get this in a single anymore, but I think it does still come in her little contouring trio. This is the best contouring bronzer that I own. It has such a great cooler undertone and it is so light but buildable, so it never ever gets too crazy. You never look like you have like a gray shadow on your face. Now that's like built up like 3 swipes so that you could see. It's really sheer at first, but I like that about this bronzer. I like that it gives you so much control that it never ends up looking too dark or anything. So and again, it's really easy to blend as well. All of these are just, I'm gonna say it over and over again, they're so blendable. They don't get patchy at all. Otherwise they wouldn't be here in my collection. So I really do enjoy this one. All right, moving quickly along here. Next is a Hourglass bronzer. I love this bronzer. This is the Hourglass Ambient Bronzer in the Luminous Bronze Light. If I didn't mention, this is bronzer number 11, by the way. It has that marbled look to it, and these, again, these do have that kind of a light, shimmery, just a really finely milled powder, and oh, they are so stunning on the skin. So here is a swatch of that one right here. It is a little bit more warm, especially when you see it next to Aiko, which is very cool toned. It does tend to lean a little bit warm, but I still think that it works really nicely on my skin tone. Again, this is one that I do kind of reach for more in the spring, summer, not just because it is a little bit more on the warm side, but also because it has that glow. I find that I like that glowy bronzer look a little bit more in this spring, summer, mostly in the summertime. That is something I go for a little bit more. So again, though, it's just such a beautiful bronzer. This does come in other shades as well. This is the only shade I've personally tried out though, and I do really love it. All right, getting to the top 10 now. This is number 10. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and this is actually the one that has a little shimmer to it. They do have a matte version as well, which I have owned in the past and used up fully, and I love that one as well. I don't know where I would rank it, but I do love it. But this one does have just the slightest glow to it, but in color, it's very similar to the matte version. Let me give you a swatch here on that one. I feel like this bronzer just gives your skin like this golden look, like it's just like that typical beautiful golden bronze look. I just love it so much, and I do reach for it a lot. My kids actually picked this out when they did the Kids Buy My Makeup challenge, so it is a little sentimental as well, but I think the product itself is gorgeous, so that is why it is in spot number 10. All right, number 9 is this one here from Becca. This is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Capri Coast. This again, this one does have a little shimmer as well, but oh, I love this one. I love the formula. It's so creamy and so blendable. This is another one that I find myself reaching for more in the summer because, again, it is a little bit on the shimmery side. So that's the swatch on the bottom there. I think it's really nice. Again, just a little light bit of shimmer to it. Nothing crazy. A little bit more of a neutral undertone on this guy. Sorry, my camera angles keep changing. I'm trying to get my lighting to cooperate with me so my camera doesn't keep thinking it needs to refocus, and it's driving me nuts. All right, number 8 is this bronzer here from Laura Mercier. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Bronzer in 02 Bronze. Look at it, it's so pretty. I love baked bronzers. I think that they give such a beautiful, natural kind of glow to the skin. But this one is so smooth and so easy to apply. And this again is one of those buildable bronzers. Like you're gonna put it on and you're gonna hardly see it at first, but you can build it up and customize your color. So that's it right there. It works great for fair to light skin tones. It's not gonna show up on anything really much deeper than me, but if you have really fair skin and you're having a hard time finding something that doesn't look a little crazy on your skin, you will love this one. It's just stunning, I love it. Bronzer number 7 is this one here from L'Oreal. This is the Glam Bronze Bronzer. Now this is actually what I have on my face today. I did apply it in that Get Ready With Me. They have repackaged this and I can never ever remember the new name, but they do still have it, I believe. I have the shade 01 Light Pale, by the way. They do still make this, but it's not in the same packaging. But look at this bronzer, you guys. Oh, it's so gorgeous. There's a swatch right there. It has kind of a little bit more cooler undertone, and it definitely has a little shimmer to it. So you can probably see it on my face today. I did kind of go a little heavy-handed with my bronzer today, but I just think it's a really nice bronzer. I love the fact that it's so huge and it's a drugstore bronzer, so you can't go wrong with that. All right, bronzer number 6 and number 5 are almost identical, so I put them next to each other, but this one is gonna take 6th place because it's a little bit more expensive and you can't get it anymore, it's discontinued. But this is from MAC. It is the Wash and Dry Collection Delicates Bronzer, and I love the color of this. It's just the perfect neutral undertone bronzer. It does have a slight sheen to it, but it's not a shimmer at all. I wouldn't call it a shimmer at all. And it just works really beautifully on my skin tone. There's it right here. That's the swatch right here. And this is almost an exact dupe for the bronzer in 5th place, which is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the shade, by the way, that's just called Bronzer. I think that's the darker of the two. There's one, I believe, that's called Light Bronzer. But this is almost identical to that MAC one I just showed you. But this one is still available and it's a lot cheaper. So that's why it got just a little bit better placement. My swatch is a little sideways, but you can see it right there. They're very, very similar. When you put them on the face, they look almost exactly the same. So I do really love this one. I highly recommend it. If you have not tried this yet, you are missing out. It's such a great drugstore bronzer. All right, getting down to my very favorite of what I own. Number 4 is this one here from NARS. This is the NARS Sun Washed or Sun Diffused, something like that, bronzer in the shade Laguna. So it's the bronzers that have the kind of zigzag pattern on it, not their original Laguna, which I do also love, and I've gone through a few full sizes of that, so that's also a really great bronzer. I just don't currently own it. But this one I like because it's a little bit easier to work with. It's a much more lightweight bronzer, buildable kind of formula. Here's a swatch here. This one does have a more warm undertone, so if you don't like a warm bronzer, you wouldn't like this one, but it is so light that you don't have to go light-handed. A lot of times with warm bronzers, you have to go so light-handed, otherwise they get too crazy intense. This is not like that. It's like a sheer wash of color. You build it up and get the look that you want from it, and I just find it to be super easy to work with. All right, bronzer number 3. This is from Algenist. I talk about this a lot because I really love it. This is the color correcting bronzer. This is such a unique product. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's got those color changing beads, so it does kind of self-adjust the color to your skin tone, and it's just a foolproof bronzer. You cannot go wrong with this bronzer. It's never gonna get too intense on the skin. This is like one of the most perfect bronzers. I just love it so much. There it is right there. I would say it's most comparable to the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced, but the fact that it is color adjusting, I don't know, there's something about it that's just so unique, and I find myself wanting to reach for that bronzer a lot. Okay, last couple bronzers here. So in spot number 2 is my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. This is the Tantastic bronzer. They have repackaged it so you can get like the rose gold version now, but this was one of the original launch. Oh, this is such a gorgeous bronzer. I really love this. It has like the perfect neutral undertone. I love the fact that you have that huge pan size. It's such a great size. You know, it's gonna last you a really long time, even though it is an expensive bronzer. But the formula, it's just, I mean, it's perfection. It's like butter. It blends out so amazingly easy. Here it is on the bottom here. The color is fantastic, the blendability, everything. It's just such an easy to work with bronzer, and I love it. I love it. Okay, and we finally made it to bronzer number 1. So this is my top favorite bronzer of what I currently own in my collection. And some of you won't be surprised because I've been talking about it a lot recently. I love this bronzer. This is from Makeup Geek, and this is their Sun Kissed bronzer. This is what it looks like inside. I'm almost ready to hit pan here. I think a couple more uses and I'll be able to hit pan on this guy. But I just find every time I pull this into my Shop My Stash, I use nothing but this. It's so Beautiful. Let me swatch it. You'll see a trend here. The ones that I say I love the most are definitely the more sheer kind of bronzers because they work better on lighter skin tones because you can customize your color. But that's it right there. So it's a little bit more on the sheer side. Definitely a neutral undertone. It's not warm, but it's not cool toned either. Definitely a more neutral undertone and just super easy to work with. It does have a tiny bit of a glow to it, just a tiny bit. But yeah, that is all of my bronzers, my whole collection of bronzers, ranked in order of best to worst. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Definitely let me know if you enjoy this type of video. Give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment. Let me know so that I know if you want to continue seeing more of them. I was thinking I might do highlighters next or blushes or something that I've already decluttered. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. And that's it for me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.